All right, all right. We're going to get into the fly route this week. Lonzo Ball, Lonzo Ball, Lonzo Ball. I'm like out here with my magic 8 ball wishing for Lonzo Ball. I can't even front. So I got to give you my first option. And I'm a little bit of a homer here, but I'm telling you, I'm doing voodoo circles, prayers, a rain dance, that Lonzo Ball
Yeah.
ends up in Chicago.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
want him with the Chicago Bulls so bad. So bad. Look, Lonzo gives us everything we don't have right now. The first thing we need is a consistent playmaker.
Mhm.
Someone that makes plays, runs the offense, takes some of that pressure off Zach LaVine. That is Lonzo's strongest like benefit, skill, etc. He runs an offense. He's great in the full court, half court, sets people up. And the second is we really need a defensive focused guard
Yeah.
who can lock down the other best guard on the other team. Zach LaVine is a great player. Defense isn't his calling card. It's not like he's terrible. But Lonzo, since day one in the league, before the shot was falling, when people were hating, was always good
About that
on
deep.
defense.
Always
So
about that
those
deep.
two things are huge. Yes. And he also took a massive stride in shooting the ball last year. Like massive stride, reworked his shot, is getting it off, add some spacing to this Bulls team. I feel like a big three of Ball, Levine, and Vucevic actually makes us like real in the East into the playoffs again, doing well. Like, oh, I can't tell you how hard I want to see Lonzo Ball next to Zach LaVine. So we all know Zach LaVine's an instant bucket every time. We also knew Devin Booker was an instant bucket all the time. Then you put someone that gets people their shots and sets them up like CP3 next to Devin Booker, and man, hit a second stratosphere,
Absolutely.
right? I'm not saying Lonzo CP3, but I'm saying when was the last time ever in the NBA that Zach LaVine in his prime played next to a playmaker the level of Lonzo Ball?
That's all he been missing.
I'm telling you, I think it's look, match made in heaven. Cash the man out, whatever it takes. Okay, don't give him the max. I'm not crazy, but make it a little bit too rich for New Orleans blood. AK, it has to happen.
True.
All right. So Toya, I want to hear what you think. The fly route. Where would you like to see Lonzo Ball next year?
Okay. So it's interesting that you have your allegiances because I have mine, right? You are, a heavy handed, cold blooded, just deep seated Bulls fan, and I respect that. And I got nothing but love for my Celtics. And that is where I think Lonzo Ball should pull up, right? We are in desperate need
Oh,
of a person for a lot of the same reasons. Somebody with some defensive dexterity to really bring back the tried and true Celtics knit and grit basketball, especially in terms of just having, I'm saying, a backcourt that can really facilitate a strong front. I feel like Marcus Smart is a great guy, but he's not scaring people as much as he used to. I feel like, I'm saying, a lot of the younger players that we brought in at the point guard and shooting guard position are attempting to kind of fall into line and tradition, but there's been nobody really rising to the level of holding it down with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Kemba Walker was, it was nice to have you. I feel like, you probably had some strong relationships, built some strong relationships in that locker room. So I'm happy that that at least could be, a healthy part of your departure, but you wasn't it. And so we have been searching for some type of just real response in the point guard position since we lost Rajon Rondo. You know what I'm saying? We had Isaiah Thomas and we shit the bed with that. We had and didn't treat him the way he should have been treated, and he gone. Then we turned around and had Kyrie.
back.
Y'all know how he went, and I was happy to see him go. Hey, 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 nah, 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 goodbye. And then we are looking ourselves in the face of another departure with Kimba, and so we are trying to get some top level, high quality assists, high quality defensive representation from the point guard position. I don't think we need to try to be homegrown. I think we still got some life in us to go after another Western Conference final push. That's going to come from a Lonzo Ball who has been in a mature locker room and been beat up by LeBron James, that slid down and had to be the mature stage person and sit next to Zion and figure out some stuff, and is now in a position to work, I think, next to Jalen and next to Jason, and under the tutelage of players like who just came back.
Horford.
Yeah, Al Horford, right? He needs to be sitting up under some, thank you, because you know my mind be going, but under the tutelage of leadership players like that who can really round out a solid locker room for experience for him, and he can mutually elevate that team. So that's my choice.
Yep, facts. Look, I'm not gonna lie. As far as like Lonzo being on like a winner and like contending, that's significantly better for Lonzo Ball than my second option. Like it's not even close. It's not even close. Like I didn't think about the Celtics, but if you thought like having someone like a Zach LaVine next to Lonzo and getting set up, imagine someone like Jason Tatum.
Come on now. Come on now. Like I got love for Zach LaVine, and he deserves a better supporting cast than he has gotten over the past, I think, few seasons at this point. I think the front office is kind of playing games with the maturation of even that young squad and that kind of core, and missing opportunities to go out there and be a little more ambitious in terms of free agency and stuff like that.
That's why they fired everybody though. Like the new dude, he took swings, he got his Vucevic, he got him in, another all-star, but like that was the only time that we had someone of that caliber next to Zach LaVine, and that was like after the trade deadline, right? So like I feel like we should take another big swing. They want to keep LaVine. We don't want to lose him. Like, but the Celtics is kind of hot.
I think, like you said, if you want a contender, if you want an opportunity to be in the mix, and I think if you want to be elevated as a player as you continue to make your journey through the league, even if you don't stay for a long time, it's a good place to stop through, and it'll bring us back. I think it maybe contribute to bringing us back to a more holistic squad, the type of holistic squad we can be without Kyrie left such a bad taste in my mouth. I kind of want a mid-tier, kind of have not yet arrived point guard. I feel like Kimball was humble enough, but he stayed hurt. I don't think he contributed enough. I don't think he definitely didn't have the defensive prowess to keep us in games. And so you just ended up, I hate to say it, but being dead weight on the floor a lot of times. You cannot score 8 points and 12 points on nights where Jason or Jalen or both of them are struggling and be a leader of this team. You know what I'm saying? It just don't work like that. And so I think if we give somebody who is allowing and will continue to allow Jason and Jaden to mature in the direction that they are, will continue to, develop the skills and talents of Robert Williams and develop the talents of whoever the hell. We still figuring out a lot of stuff at, the 5 and 6 position, but the 4 and 5 position. But as we sort some of that stuff out, just a ball distributor, a defender, and somebody there to still learn and develop is what we need on the Celtics right now.
Lonzo about to catch a bag, because I also thought about the Knicks, because they obviously need a star point guard there.
True.
But they don't even, I don't think they hit the way the Celtics hit. So I'm going to give y'all this option. And this option is a little bit of a hypothetical, because it assumes that you think the 76ers trade Ben Simmons. And if they do, the packages that we've been hearing, it's hard to figure out who is the point guard talent that they get back. And I think if you trade Ben for some core pieces, maybe a guy that plays like the 2 that can be strong, pushing set to the second unit, or the 3, because your 4 and 5 is really set, right? Tobias and Embiid, you can then sign Lonzo Ball with the savings that you get from moving that Ben Simmons contract. Now that Lonzo will shoot, Lonzo shoots well, and Lonzo gives you that like defensive presence, playmaking presence, able to find plays in transition that you got with Ben Simmons. Now, he might not defend as well as Ben Simmons or, play make as well as Ben Simmons, although I think the second part of those is actually quite questionable. But he will shoot and space, especially for Embiid, in a way that is way better for the overall construction of that team. And I think, whew, whew, they like. I thought Philly was going to come out the East with that current construction of team that they had this year. I was obviously proven wrong, but I don't look. I ain't afraid to say I was wrong, but like adding Lonzo to that team,
That would be big nice. I just worry that they're not going to get rid of Mans.
Ben.
Ben. I think Ben Simmons is going to end up staying because they are dealing with a moral, not moral, but morale kind of quandary right now, right? You got the Doc Rivers comments about, whether or not he's able to show up and handle business, and he had to walk those back and clarify them. And so it's kind of sticky, and Doc needs to, I think if he's worth anything, would want to rehabilitate in real time kind of the statements that he had. That probably was a huge blow, and the timing was terrible. I think y'all talked about this on the show. The timing was just trash between losing that game and making the comments that you don't feel like he could be a leader of a championship contending team. And so I feel like there needs to be some patchwork done with that. And if Doc Rivers is worth anything, he needs to be the person to say, if he's not a championship contending, then I'll be the one to turn him into that. Then my job is not done. And so maybe I need to go back to the drawing board. Second thing is, Ben Simmons decided to sit out of the Olympics because he said, well, I got some shit to do, clearly. I need to be working on my craft. And so you not only do that, you know what I'm saying, because you want to show the other teams that, if y'all want to come get me because they don't like me no more, I'm decent. But you want to show the team and the unit that you with that I'm not the trash that you think I am. You know what I'm saying? So I think
I'm gonna get better.
Like the need / desire to rehabilitate some of that and maybe work through some kinks on this offseason, I think is there strong enough to keep them. I don't think it's in their best interest. I just don't necessarily think that they're gonna part ways with old boy.
I'm with you, especially because Doc crashed his value with those statements.
Terrible.
Which is why you might have to get a nice piece or two and not another all-star piece because of what they've done to his value. So that's going to be interesting. I like these options. These are good top 3 destinations for Lonzo Ball. Look, it's not like he shouldn't stay in New Orleans, but I would like to see Lonzo in a bigger market. I can say that like fully with my chest.
But when you talk about bigger markets, there's conversations about, the Pelicans being the team most likely to be relocated. So that might be, we can't undermine or underscore enough how much that market in and of itself plays into it. But I mean, the market doesn't contribute completely to how a team functions. It does have something to do with it. So things to consider.
Yeah, we seen the Bucks and the Suns, small market finals.
Yeah.
So it can definitely happen. It can be built there. It's only time would tell.
I agree though, 1,000%. Big Brother Ball should probably find another place to develop and mature some of those skills. Show us what he can do somewhere else.